Hello there and welcome to another Guild Wars 2 video, and we just wanted to do a quick video about, well, two things really. Firstly, it was damage scaling in the sense of going back to lower level zones, and the way that Guild Wars 2 sort of has the idea of going back to a low level zone. You don't overpower it. You get taken back down to an appropriate level so that the content is still challenging. So, I mean, we tried this, you and me, Rob.
We did.
And we went to, you were like level, 13, and I was like level 16. And we went back to the Norn kind of 1 to 15 area, starting at the very bottom, just to sort of go and do some quests that we could both do to get some experience, because we were trying to level up. And what we found when we went back to that low level zone was something very interesting, which is that mobs died like really easily. Do you not agree?
Yeah, it wasn't that it was. It was a bit off. Yeah, it was a bit of a shock, really. To be honest, I didn't expect them to be that floppy.
Yeah.
I mean, even as we moved, because what we did was we started actually in almost the starting zone, and we did the Raven quest, didn't we?
That's right.
And then we went down and did the bear, kind of like
we hit all that stuff, but we were just kind of like stomping around and like just doing it really quickly.
Yeah, everything did die rather fast
because everything just got out of our way. To sort of, it just. My problem with that is, ArenaNet's whole idea for doing that, and the reason why they do that is because, and a lot of gamers agree on this one point, it's kind of like one of the simple rules of, game design theory, is that when things die too easily, and when challenge is removed from the equation, the actual satisfaction part of the equation is diminished, because all of a sudden you're like on God mode, and you just don't feel like, it just becomes like a boring rinse and repeat task. The combat in Guild Wars 2 is dynamic, and when you go back to a low level zone and things just die in one shot, then you feel like that element's been taken away in a sense, and the challenge is gone. And that was definitely what we found going back to, especially at the start of that area. But it continued all the way through to like the end of that zone. We did all the content of that zone except for like one skill point, I think, that was listed on the map.
Yeah, there was all that first, the greeny starty area was really easy. Which, I mean, like, my argument for this fact is it was like the level 1 starting zone. I mean, like, there was this content was for people who were absolutely fresh out of the box. Starting with the new characters. So obviously the mobs aren't going to be that challenging.
No, yeah, from a design point of view, they're going to be pretty straightforward to let people get to grips with how their game works.
Yeah, completely. So we did completely, stomp through that. When we went up north, into the Wayfarer foothills, I think it is called.
Yeah.
It got a bit better, but in parts it was kind of bizarre, because in parts it wasn't, and in parts it was like really easy, and then it was kind of like most of the time it was actually really easy, and destroying the guys on the road and clearing the roadblocks and all that kind of stuff was pretty much.
It was way easy compared to what it was when you did it at the appropriate level.
Yeah, I remember. Well, that's the thing. People are saying that when we did it the last time, it was Beta Weekend 2 or 1 possibly. I can't remember what I played last time.
I think it was that was the first Beta Weekend when we played Norn.
Yeah, Norn, and
we did that stuff.
It was a lot harder when we did the Norn, when we were playing Norn, and going up to get that skill point with the round the back of that village. Remember, with the guy at the top in the kind of wooden cage area.
Yeah.
That was really hard on the first time we did it as Norn. So yeah, it's a bit. I don't know what to make of it, really. I don't really know if it's just because it is so low level anyway, and you just kind of have to get over the fact. And maybe if we were like level 80 going back to a level 30 zone, it'd be completely different, and it actually would be challenging. And we haven't seen half the content, but then maybe it was just maybe they are literally just constantly swinging it back and forth to see what the balance does and to see how quickly people can get through it.
That's a possibility. We don't know, do we? I think it's very easy to jump to the conclusion that ArenaNet's happy with it how it is, but I mean that's the whole point of a beta, isn't it? I mean they're testing it, so maybe they set it to a certain other side of the spectrum to see what the reaction would be.
Exactly.
We can't tell, so it's not really fair to say, oh, Guild Wars 2 is going to be stupidly easy on release. I mean, my experience with content at the appropriate level when you're playing through it was that it was fine.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
That's the other point that we want to get to in this video, is that, you know, we've seen a few videos now after the beta weekend. We'll put some links up to them because the specific ones that we're talking about. But the basic gist of what happens in these videos is that people are basically saying that the combat difficulty in Guild Wars 2 is now like hella easy mode, and we're talking about like a guy standing in front of a Etin and getting like he's basically letting it hit him and just standing there doing nothing, and he's not taking really damage, he's healing back straight away.
Yeah, if anyone's ever fought an Etin, I don't know if you've played Guild Wars 2 yet, but basically this is like probably one of the first mobs you meet which can actually do you some serious damage. It's really heavy hitting, slow, but I think the idea being that it's slow enough that you learn how to dodge and move and get out of the way of the big hits, and use your blocking abilities and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, man, this thing would literally knock you flying if it got a hit on you.
Yeah, the idea is it's just a test of like, can you avoid a big attack, and that's one of the first mobs that really puts that idea across. But this guy's just kind of standing there and it's hitting him. And so, I mean, I didn't really fight any Etin specifically this time, but I mean, I found the combat to be, I mean, it wasn't particularly like overly challenging, but I didn't think it was at level appropriate stuff, like easy mode.
Yeah, I mean, on the level, when I was actually playing my level, or because normally I was a little behind, so I'd go into a new zone and be like a level behind or something, so things would sometimes be a little bit red on the old level meter. But yeah, I mean, once you could if you got like a few things on you, like a few mobs on you, you really had to fight hard to beat them all. I mean, I remember being stuck in a cave with a load of dredgers or something, and basically they just kept, was it scripts? I can't remember. They basically just kept coming because of the spawn rate on them, and I had about 4 of them attacking me at the same time, and I went to down state like twice, but I managed to get myself back up and
you rallied them.
Yeah, I managed to get, using all my abilities and luck and guile and all that kind of stuff, I managed to get myself back up and beat them. So I don't see how they, I mean, there was another video where there was a guy basically who took a level 2 character into one of the skill challenges in the Wayfarer Foothills where we were just like that evening. We fought the kind of skill point challenge lady in the cave, with the bears around her, who's level 5 skill challenge, as we did, and basically just put auto attack on as a guardian and stood there auto attacking away, and it took him about 5 minutes to kill her, but she just couldn't get him down at all.
Yeah, he just fucking just stands there and auto attacks her to death. But I mean, again, we didn't really run into that. So what we're saying here really is that we're slightly confused by that, and our experience of the combat was that it was. I felt like it was in a nice kind of middle ground. I mean, I thought it was fine, but I mean, what we want to know is what's your experience of the combat, and what's your knowledge about this situation that people are talking about, because we're kind of baffled by it.
Yeah, I mean, it did kind of like hit me when we were doing the stuff together and going through the scaled down content that we were talking about, that it was very easy to kill stuff. but I never felt that I wasn't being damaged, which is what was happening to these guys. They weren't taking damage really.
Yeah.
And if they were able to sort of regain it somehow. I mean, obviously, I can see a Guardian being able to regain it because of his skill sets, and maybe there's a skill there that procs regeneration, or maybe he gets it procs when he gets hit or something, whatever.
Yeah.
But I couldn't see. You know, there were some things that really, really hurt a lot, and there were times when we went down, to a down state.
Yeah. So I guess what we're saying here really is maybe we're like stupid and we don't understand like, what's going on with these guys.
What's going on?
But yeah, it just doesn't really make sense to us. If and if anyone's watching this video who wants to like tell us what's going on with that, then please do, because we're kind of like, not sure if serious or it's like it almost feels like watching those videos that there's some kind of bizarre like trolling going on.
Yeah,
or something,
it is. It just feels like it's been like completely. I feel like I'm being trolled, but then I can't see how they would have.
But again, I mean, the videos that we've seen of these guys, they're not really saying much. They're just kind of showing it and going, "Oh yeah, Guild Wars 2 is easy," which is fine, I guess. But I mean, we don't really have that experience. So what's your experience is, I guess, the question that's posed by this video with combat difficulty in both level appropriate content and like scaled down content. I mean, what we're saying really with the scaled down stuff is that it was alright, but stuff just died quickly, but we didn't feel invincible in ourselves, and we know that obviously when you've got more skills unlocked and you're at a higher experience level in terms of the stuff that you've seen, then stuff lower down it should be, I guess, a little bit easier, but you don't want to just go in there and feel like stuff's going to just fall over, which is what we sort of really noticed this time.
I think what we really want from that, if we wanted to get a response from MarineNet in that sense, would be to see that we do a little bit less damage. I think if we had less damage going out, it would just bring it back.
Yeah, it'd be fine then, because then the fights wouldn't just be over in 2 seconds. You'd have time to use some, support-based abilities and to actually think about the combat rather than just go, you're dead.
Yeah, one ability kills is not good.
So that's what we're asking, really, isn't it? What's your experience with scaled down content and at level appropriate content? What's your thoughts on that? So let us know. We're quite interested in getting comments on this, so please go ahead and comment. Don't forget to subscribe for notifications about future videos, and we will see you guys again in the near future. Stay tuned.
Bye.